Results are in. Democrat Bill de Blasio is the winner and was declared the next mayor of New York City with 99% of precincts reporting. De Blasio had 73% and Joe Lhota had 24%. That's the largest win by a non-incumbent since the 5 borough elections began in 1897. Here's a part of de Blasio's victory speech.
My fellow New Yorkers, today you spoke out loudly and clearly for a new direction for our city. United by a belief that our city should leave no New Yorker behind. Tackling inequality isn't easy. It never has been and it never will be. The challenges we face have been decades in the making, and the problems we set out to address will not be solved overnight. But make no mistake, the people of this city have chosen a progressive path.
So while we take a look at some headlines around the New York area, just give me a general sense of what your takeaway was from the race.
Well, de Blasio ran on a tax the rich campaign, stop the police from stopping and frisking poor people and minorities. And he's got this incredibly charismatic family, including a son who we saw at the very beginning of that clip with a towering afro that was featured prominently in an ad that reverberated across the country. People thought that he had one of the best campaign ads in a long time. So he won for a lot of reasons, and those are the takeaways from here in Washington. I'm sure you, as a New Yorker, would have more to say about how exactly he pulled off that big victory.
Well, it was, I think, in some ways just a perfect storm for Joe Lhota in the sense that he wasn't supposed to be there. No one really expected him to be the candidate. And certainly de Blasio was a guy who, a year ago, no one would have said is going to be the next mayor of New York. There were a list of people he probably wouldn't have made the top 3. And they both sort of stumbled into this kind of final round. And de Blasio simply, it was just his time. I think, and let's look at the map. I mean, we have here a results map courtesy of the New York Times. And we look across these areas and we see the blue obviously is de Blasioville. And it doesn't matter what neighborhood you look in, for the most part, you see downtown Flushing, obviously Queens, Forest Hills. But when you look around the area here, you see it largely Lhota area everywhere. 250,000 people cast votes for Lhota, 750,000 cast votes for de Blasio. This was a big deal.